We're bringing back Tasty Tuesday, and this week we're going to show you how to make some pancakes a little bit healthier. I know a lot of our clients really struggle with breakfast and what to make, trying to find the right balance of their protein, their fats, and their carbohydrates. And so a lot of people either skip breakfast or they end up eating stuff that may not be the best for them. So this is kind of one of those things that they can eat and not feel guilty after they eat it. It is combined of 3 main ingredients. Cottage cheese, I know that sounds a little weird, but trust me, you don't even taste it. You can get whatever fat percentage of cottage cheese that you would like. They all work the same. Oats, old-fashioned oats, you can get quick oats too, it really doesn't matter. Egg whites, and then I add in, I'm a cinnamon lover, so I always add in cinnamon, a little bit of vanilla, and then a little bit of baking powder to help. So what you want to make sure you do is you start by warming up the pan. So I've already put a little coconut oil, but you can use whatever spray that you prefer. And I would do it on a medium to medium high heat. My stove takes a little bit to warm up, so that's why I've already turned it on, getting it ready to make the pancakes. So basically it's super simple and you can put it all in a blender. I've done it either way. I've done it where you can put it in the blender, or you can like make like oat flour and then mix it all together. But you'll probably want to at least make the flour out of the oats if you don't put everything in the blender. But once again, it really is up to you. It's super simple. So we'll start with a ½ cup of oats. And also just letting you guys know, I have doubled and even tripled this recipe cooking at one time, and it worked out fine. So if that's something that you're doing, so you can make bulk. What I usually do for one recipe of these, I can usually get about 2 breakfasts of like 4 pancakes each, and that's usually really filling for me. I also have the macros on file, so we can put that and add that up later. Once again, it will depend upon what fat cottage cheese you're using, as well as anything else that you add extra to it. So we'll do a full cup of egg whites. So I'll toss this up in here. And then cottage cheese is a ½ cup. So it's a ½ cup of oats, a ½ cup of cottage cheese, and then 4 egg whites, which equals a cup on these specific egg whites. So you'll just have to look at your nutrition background. Trying to be as precise as possible for these. Sometimes I just dump once I've gotten used to making this recipe. So once I add that, I do about a ½ teaspoon of cinnamon, but that's because I love cinnamon and I think that cinnamon goes with everything in life. So you can adjust accordingly to what you prefer. I do about a teaspoon of baking soda, and also the original recipe didn't have baking soda, but I added it in, and a 1/4 to a ½ teaspoon of vanilla works perfectly. Like I said, I normally never even measure, I just dump, so. And then all you have to do is blend and turn it on. Super simple. So the thing about this is that it's going to be runnier than your normal consistency. So sometimes I look at the batter and I'll add a little extra oats. But it really is up to you. And then once again, like I said, it'll always be a little bit more runny in consistency than your normal pancakes. So just be aware of that. And you could probably add in a few like solid oats afterwards if you wanted to, just to have them in the pancakes. So I keep it in the blender, but like I said, it's a little bit runnier. But they kind of do the same thing as regular pancakes. As they start to cook, they will start bubbling up top. I'm not an expert at pancake pouring, just to let you know. And then we wait, the hurry up and wait part. So these, I think, I can read off the stats while they cook, but they have, like I said, I usually make one recipe and I divide it in two. So the greatest thing is on, if you don't have the app MyFitnessPal, you can track and log all of your foods, and it can follow kind of your macros that you've set it. You can change those settings. But the other thing that you can do is you can add in your own recipes. So I've already added in my my oatmeal cottage cheese pancakes, and so like I said, it's for 2 servings, but for the calories are about 176, 2 grams of fat, about 18 grams of carbs, and 19 grams of protein. So yeah, you might think that's a higher bit of carbs, but it's got a really nice amount of protein carbohydrate mix to get you started. So you can tell these guys start a little bit, you just flip them so they're not as thick and fluffy as your normal pancakes. Woo! See, I'm not an expert at all at pancake flipping. It's like I have to wake up in the morning and like be really ready. So yeah, the greatest thing is they're super simple, easy to make, and then you can prepare them ahead of time. And I put them in individual containers, and they'll last for 5 to 7 days. So you can prep this with your other meal prepping and then just warm them up and serve them. So that's what I really like about them, that they're easy, convenient, and they last in the fridge. Yeah, it takes me a few rounds to get like the perfect shape and or flip. So yeah, that is how to make the protein pancakes that we have. We'll put up the specific recipe, and then I can also put up the specific macros for this. But also, like I said, MyFitnessPal app is really good to input all of your recipes, so then you can constantly, anytime that you make them, you can just add them in easier, and it can track your macros for the day. Well, that's pretty much it, unless you want to sit here and watch me flip some pancakes. But it's a great idea, and I highly recommend making these pancakes. I love them. I'm addicted to them. But yeah, welcome back to Tasty Tuesday, and we'll see you next week.